It's time for the show that engages with people of the combat sports world. And now, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed combat sports show champion of the world, Flash Knockdown.
So, Dan Mins was your opponent at Almighty 16 in Barnsley. A stat card from top to bottom for the undisputed mad cards. Almighty fighting featherweight title. Dan was coming off his TKO win at Golden Ticket in December. What did you know about Dan? And with both your records, did you anticipate going the full 5-round distance?
So I was a bit immature in that fight. I'll be the first to admit. Did make some immature decisions. Jumped on stuff I shouldn't have necessarily jumped on. But massive learning curve for me. But no, I didn't think it'd go all 5. But I was prepared for all 5. I always am.
You always are.
Never will be.
Yeah, you always are.
So, but I was glad that it kind of went 5 rounds because, my coaching team, my team around me was like, it was probably good that he did 5 rounds just to show people that you don't have to get him out in the first 2. It shows that you can actually go all 5, which is another blessing in disguise, some might say.
Yeah, I agree. So it was a great fight overall, which saw you win by unanimous decision and also winning fight of the night. It had just about everything. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
What was the bonus like?
I'm estimating a good 80 million.
It wasn't bad.
It weren't bad.
I won't disclose how much.
You won't disclose, don't worry. All right. 60G, 70G?
Oh, I wish I bloody wish. I really wish. One day.
Exactly. One day.
Yeah, it's fighters do need to be starting getting paid more.
Oh,
some
for
of them
sure.
don't get paid much.
Underpaid. Very much underpaid. Yeah.
It's like people
100%.
A little off topic, because people think, because they get paid, they get paid, like 70 grand and one thing. But yeah, that's going to last them like a third of the year. And that don't pay for everything. They're still going to get taxed on that. They're still going to pay for the fight, because that's how, and the third goes to the fighting, the coaching stuff and that. So it disappears very quickly. And that's not what a lot of people take into consideration.
No, they just see the headline pay, but they don't understand that as soon as they receive it, they have to divide it back out.
Yeah. It's literally the fighter paycheck, the coaching paycheck, the travel cost and everything. It's ridiculous.
100%. Yeah, there's only very few like UFC fighters, for example, that are earning the real sort of top dollar.
Yeah, it's like GSP, Jones, McGregor, Khabib. They're like the proper.
Yeah, and that's about it.
They're the big. They're bringing the big
earners.
Money.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. So the fight with Dan had just about everything going back and forth, but ultimately the pressure you put on Dan was overwhelming at times. Was it important for you? And I think you mentioned that before. It was important for you to show everyone that you can look just as good over 5 rounds as you do over, say, a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it was massive. It was important for me. We're probably going to plan on doing it, a bit later on, maybe. But it's, no time like the present, as they say.
Yeah.
But it was. It had a lot of striking exchanges, wrestling, grappling. It was a good fight, entertaining.
Had everything.
Got fight of the night.
Yeah, that's why it got fight of the night.
And there was a lot of there weren't a lot of finishes that night. I think there was only about 3 or 4 finishes. So the fact that I got fight of the night must have meant I did have the best fight.
No, it was a great card. Great amateur cards. Amazing amateur cards. Yeah.
Almighty always puts on good amateur cards.
Always. Yeah. Almighty certainly is. Yeah. Ray does an amazing job.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely great job.
Yeah. And he
Runs
cares.
flawlessly as well.
Oh,
Yeah, he really does.
yeah. He cares a lot. He cares a lot. And
Yeah,
he
can
cares a
tell.
lot. Yeah. You can tell.
When you're just like talking to him, like I've talked to him, you know, when I'm backstage, when you know you're in the warm up rooms and that, you just talk to him and you just tell he genuinely cares about it.
Yeah. He loves it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what you like to see though, isn't it? You want a promoter like that who's going to care about how the fighters are treated, how everything's going. That's how you want them to be.
Agreed there, George. Agreed. So, George, you are now the undisputed almighty featherweight champion, beating the guy who beat your teammate 11 months earlier for the belt.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, Adam Smith. Do you ever look back and even surprise yourself with how quickly things have progressed for you in MMA?
No, I think me and Sam and Stu thought we'd hit the scene quite quickly. Like what we didn't do it anymore, but we did it for the Stafford fight on the Callum Condell one. We thought get 2 fights in one fight camp straight away. Then I'm 2-0 Bosch. Then I didn't think I'd maybe get the title. I thought I'd maybe get the title after 6 fights, maybe, getting 6-0. The title was a bit of a surprise. But I thought I'd be, up there, considered one of the best by the end of the year.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's just about picking the right opponents. If you get, if you're taking them scalps,
it pushes you.
You're gonna be. Oh, hello.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, like I was saying, if you take them scalpels, people are gonna scalps. Sorry, I don't know why I keep saying scalps. People are gonna start noticing you, and that's what the plan was. From that means Sam and Stu came up with.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of the amateurs. There's no point taking easy fights.
No,
you might as well challenge yourself because it doesn't matter ultimately.
Yeah. Well, no, like John Kavanagh says, win or learn.
100%, especially in the amateurs.
Yeah, that's where it's like that is what the amateurs is for. It's
correct.
It's to learn.
Like
to learn your craft. It's like college in a way, isn't it? Like college amateurs is the college, and then like pros is the jobs.
Correct.
That's why you get money.
That's right. That's exactly right. So, George, we now move into crazy times where your next scheduled appearance wasn't for 7 months. You were due to face Kai Holmes for the Cage Steel Featherweight title in August 2020. That fight meant your scheduled appearance versus Liam McCracken, my guest on episode 11 at Almighty 18, was postponed. Ray Thompson, owner of Almighty, and my guest on episode 12 explains.
So he splits his time between the two because he gets better sparring at AVT because they've got much more talent there. So obviously part of that is his matches get booked now, some through Fight Ministry Hall and some through CSFC, so some through Danny Mitchell. So because George had fought on our show previously, he was due to fight on CSFC for their title. That, of course, got scrapped because he was going to do that fight and then come and fight on our show to fight Liam. So when I rescheduled the Liam fight, it was kind of agreed with Stuart. That was fine, all done. But at the same time, he'd already had an agreement that George had made with Danny that Stuart was kind of like a bit out of the loop, that he was going to be fighting on the CSFC for their bout. So Stuart had to ring me up and say, look, we've double booked him. He was due to this one. We've already committed to this. It's not fair. And I said, obviously I was disappointed, but I said, that it is what it is. That's fine.
Can you set the record straight for us, please, George?
Yeah. So I'd been double booked against Kai, and then I got the call from Stu saying I've been booked with Liam, and I did the same thing for Almighty. So I got double booked for the before, and I chose to fight an Almighty because I got my match in Almighty first. But I got matched on Cage Steel first, and then it was Almighty. So I can't just. My thing was, if I got matched on you first, I'll fight on your show. So I was like, I said to Ray, I did it for your show. I pulled out of CSFC to fight on your show, and I just doing the same now because I said I'd fight on their show first. I won't duck in or anything. It just is what it is. I know it's maybe seemed like that, but I genuinely wasn't.
Yeah, because Ray believed that you should have stuck to your fight with Liam, as you and him represent the two best featherweights in the country. If it was your choice, what would you have done?
I just stuck to my gut. I felt good with the decision I made because I knew me and Liam would fight. It didn't really matter when it happened. I wasn't ducking him. You can say I was. Anyone can say I was. I wasn't. That's not me being, like, being horrible, or I want ducking him. I wouldn't duck anyone. Like I said, amateurs, you learn. Yeah, it didn't really matter now. Neither of the fights went along. So
true. Yeah, neither happens.
No, neither of them happened. But I get why everyone was curious. But now I'm fighting him. So
okay. So if you haven't guessed by now, George will be facing Liam in August at Almighty 18 in Barnsley in what promises to be a real barn burner. This marks the third attempt in putting this particular fight together. The Khabib versus Tony Ferguson of the featherweight division. Bearing in mind, Liam has a fight scheduled in July. Any concerns that he may pick up an injury there?
It's ironic that you say this. Me and Stu was on about this the other day.
Really?
Yeah, literally Monday morning we was on about it. We're aware that he's fighting, and I want to fight Liam because I think it'll be a really good fight. Put on a good performance for the crowd. But we are aware that there is a possibility that I may pick up an injury, and we are prepared for that. But we hope he doesn't get injured.
Fine. And of course, your fight with Liam is certainly one of, if not the most keenly anticipated amateur matchups you can make today. What are your thoughts on Liam, and how do you see the fight playing out?
I think Liam's a good kid. He's game, and he's in there to the end. There's no giving him. I think it'll be a good opponent for me. A good challenge for myself. Something to push me along. Not that I need, pushing. I'm already that self-driven. But I think it's one I'm looking forward to, and I have been for a while. I think the fight, I don't think there'll be a quick finish. I think if there's going to be a finish, it'll be third and onwards. And if not, it'll just be decision.
All right. Liam, of course, as you say, he's very confident. And whilst he stopped short of making an exact prediction, he told me it would be a dominating performance. Okay. What do you make of that?
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm confident in my ability to win. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure he's confident in his to win.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's... sorry.
No, go on.
Like I say, I'm sure. I'm 100% sure I'll win, but I'm sure he's 100% sure he'll win. So just see who's the better man on the day. Yeah,
I mean, two great champions. So and that's what sort of the amateurs are all about. It's really, really good to see two hungry, very, very talented young champions. So for me as a fan, it's a win-win.
Oh, definitely a win-win. Definitely.
Yeah. And if you do beat Liam and defend your title for the second time, what other challenges are there in the amateurs? And also, when do you anticipate going pro?
So I would like to do the IMAFs. Obviously, the World Championships, for those who don't know what the IMAFs means.
Kazakhstan.
It's November. Yeah, in November, December time. I would like to do them. That would be a good challenge for me. Then depending on what my record is, then maybe one more, then pro.
Okay. And at what point, I'm probably more of a question for Danny, but at what point do you have to sort of because obviously Danny's been a coach on the IMFs.
Yeah.
So at what point do you have to sort of register your interest, shall we say? That's something you need to do now?
I'm not sure. I've been talking to ironically Stafford about it. Me and Stafford want to do it together. And we're gonna talk to Danny next week. He's going to Sweden this week to corner Tom Crosby.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'll talk to Jay. I'll see Jay tomorrow and have a word with him about that as well.
Yeah. No, good. It'd be good to see both you and Stafford on Team England.
Yeah.
Stafford's facing. Well, he's fighting for the featherweight, the golden ticket featherweight, though, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good card. To be fair, really good cards.
Yeah.
Very good cards.
I've been hearing a lot of stuff about that golden ticket.
Yeah, very, very good card, I have to say. Very impressive amateur card. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well. Yeah, very good to hear. So George, before we look at your flash fives, how would you rate the quality of the UK amateur scene and any upcoming prospects at your gym that we may get to hear about in the near future?
I think the UFC, the UK amateur MMA scene pretty rife right now. There's some good kids coming up, and definitely keep your eyes open. And Matt, do you mean AVT or Hull from Hull?
Oh, either or. Both.
Either or.
Yeah, please, both.
You've got one of my close friends, Joe Fields. He fights an almighty. He lost his last fight, but don't write him off. He's a good little fight. He's a good little fighter. From AVT, most people know the AVT guys. You got Stafford. Most of them have gone pro now.
Yeah,
Louis, Kieran,
Louis.
Yeah, they've all gone pro. So it's just
true.
Me and Stafford are mainly the only two amateurs that are
still there. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Makes sense. Okay, well, thank you very much for that, George, and I'll certainly keep an eye on those or on them. So the final segment of the show is called Flash 5. George, I will ask you the following 5 questions, and simply you give me your best answer. All good, bro?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all good.
All good. So number 1, George, who would you love to compete against, either dead or alive?
Max Holloway.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah, I love Max. He's my favorite.
Me too. Like that's my favorite fighter.
He's spectacular, isn't he? He's brilliant.
Love Max Holloway.
Dominance.
Incredible performance. Yeah, that guy is something special.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
he is 100%.
Good answer. Love that answer. I've been waiting for someone to say Max Holloway. You're the first one.
Really? You're
the first one, man, to mention Max Holloway. My favorite fighter, man. So yeah, it's out there now. It's out there. It's out there. So your ideal way to finish an opponent?
I'd like a head kick KO.
Question mark kick KO.
Yeah, it just looked nice on it. Just like a little whip. Just a little whip up and it's a bang.
Bang.
It looked pretty nice.
It would. That would be a highlight reel.
Oh, definitely.
The best combat sports fight you've seen?
That I've seen?
Yeah.
There's a couple. There's like I'd probably have to go to Rory McDonald and Robbie Lawler. Absolute banger.
Number two, obviously, because they fought twice. I assume you mean number 2.
Oh God. Yeah, obviously, yeah, number 2. Yeah, the one for the title. Yeah, where Rory breaks his nose and like he can't see properly.
Oh, That has got to be one of my favorite fights as well. That's definitely up there. Insane.
Superb, isn't it?
Insane.
Superb.
Yeah, and the thing that always gets me about that fight is the first round and a half starts off really like slow, non-eventful, and then it just goes.
It's a red mess.
It just goes crazy. Yeah, they just go. Yeah, wow, good answer there.
Well,
what superpower would you choose to have, George?
What super? Can I choose the Force?
Of course you would. Of course you would. Being a Star Wars. Of course. Good one there as well. Should have known. Should have known. And then the final one, George. The best finish to a fight you have seen.
I liked Corey Sanhagen's spinning heel kick on Marlon Moraes. That was that was a pretty saucy kick.
I thought when you mentioned Corey Sanhagen, I thought you were going to mention his flying knee against Frank Edgar.
Yeah, that's good as I don't know. It's between them two for me. I'll say the Edgar one actually because it's the way he walks off, like the way he circled and just walked in and then walked out. Yeah, actually, you convinced me. Yeah, Corey Sanhagen versus Edgar.
Okay, all right, love that. So, George, that's us done now. Thank you for being such a great guest. And how did you enjoy the experience of the show?
Oh, I absolutely enjoyed it. Loved every minute. Thank you very much for having me as well. It's been a pleasure.
Wow. Okay, I love that. Thank you for your feedback. No, it's been my pleasure. Thank you for coming on, George. And I wish you all the very best in your title defense in August. And look forward to having you back on the show in the future, if that's okay with you.
Brilliant. I can't wait to be on next time.
Thank you. Means a lot. Thank you so much, George. You really does mean a lot. Thank you, brother.
No worries. Thank you.
You're welcome. So thank you to the viewers for joining George and I on episode 18 of Flash Knockdown. And in the words of Bruce Buffer, the show that engages with people of the combat sports world. Thank you to everyone, and thank you to George.
No problem. See you later, guys.
Thank you, George.